We will continue with the Christmas story. Today we will read the story titled The Snowy Friend. Snow falls like a mad dance, unlike ever before. People retreat into their cozy homes, warming themselves by their fireplaces. Some sip tea, others rum, and the bold ones indulge in both, in no particular order. Of course, there are those who dislike this weather, grumbling in the warmth of their rooms, waiting for the snow to cease. Yet, deep down, even they love the snow but have grown up and forgotten its warmth. Now, what warmth am I talking about, you might wonder. Think again, isn't it coziest when snow is falling? Where are you usually found? Ah, there you are, in your warm home, on your favorite chair, reminiscing about the days when, as a child, you first got hit by a snowball, or when you tasted snow for the first time, not the yellow one. Well, maybe that is warm in a way, but I'm not talking about that kind of warmth. I mean the warmth provided by a home filled with love, the warmth and interesting happiness that nostalgia brings, and most importantly, the warmth of friendship. Not the grown-up kind but the first, childish friendship, the kind that remains etched in the heart forever, the ones I call the first snow friendships. These first friendships often develop in winter when the snow falls, and everyone gathers in the local park to play in the snow, build snow forts, slide on ice, and do everything that warms your heart, always in the company of friends. In that park, nothing matters, not your age, the color of your hair, whose dad is stronger, whose mom makes better spaghetti, who plays the best soccer, or who Maja from 5B likes. What matters there is just laughter, joy, and happiness. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. That's precisely why I'm writing this story. I want a small dose of happiness, a touch of winter magic to bring together two lost souls left alone on such a beautiful snowy day. As I write this, another 20 centimeters of snow has fallen, and there's no one in the local park. Mrs. Greta, a 76-year-old grumbler, is the first to notice, commenting that even the children are not what they used to be. For Greta, it's the worst possible day. Her only son was supposed to come for lunch today, but due to a massive snowstorm, he was prevented. Dear Greta hasn't seen her son in almost a year because of work taking him to a completely different continent, one where it never snows, the sun always shines, and it's always warm. Yes, dreadful. Not only do I not like it, but Greta doesn't like it either. Enough about that, let me introduce you to dear Mrs. Greta. Greta is a simple elderly woman, a bit on the plump side, which she attributes to her age and slowed metabolism. But truth be told, she is addicted to chocolate. She loves all kinds, dark, white, fruity, nutty, it doesn't matter as long as it's chocolate in all possible forms. There's literally no place in her house without some piece of chocolate. She even keeps some in the bathroom to treat herself after brushing her teeth because, as Greta says, toothpaste is bitter, and life must always be sweet. Those are her words, not mine. I actually agree with her. But Greta, after toothpaste? Her son has picked up this chocolate addiction, but that's not important now. Greta looks through the foggy window, feeling extremely sad because her son won't visit, even though she prepared the finest hot chocolate, a favorite for both of them. She's so saddened that she doesn't even want to drink a cup herself. For a moment, she forgets about her son and the chocolate when she sees the park is empty. It truly breaks her heart. She remembers how she played there, fell in love for the first time with the boy she shared a sled with, played with her son in that same park, and dreamed of playing with her grandson, who isn't there because her son couldn't come. She gets angry that there are no children in the park, wondering what's wrong with today's kids. Then she spots a child on the swings in the distance, about 11 years old, sadly swinging alone. Our second lonely soul, Luca, is on the swing. This is his first snow, experiencing it for the first time in his life. In recent years, snowfall has been scarce or non-existent. Some blame global warming, others blame different things, but it's clear someone wants to take winter and snow away from us. Whoever it is, shame on them. Luca, alone on the swing, calls his friends from the neighborhood and school over his mobile, urging them to come sledging, making snowmen, anything, just to play in the snow. Absolutely everyone rejected him. Some are playing video games, others ate so many cookies that they can't get out of bed, and here's the kicker, some mothers won't let their kids play in the snow because it's cold, and they fear they might catch a cold. Mario, his best friend, isn't allowed to go sledding because his mom doesn't want him to get sick. Shameful. The same mother used to be the queen of this park, fastest on ice, most accurate in snowball fights, building shelters like pyramid builders. And guess what? Now she won't let her son play in the snow. Truly, growing up is a person's greatest sorrow. But why should we kill our hero with this sorrow? Why does he have to be alone and sad when he's only 11 years old? Go back to the beginning of the story, imagine that our hero doesn't feel the warmth of the snow. Truly heartbreaking. Greta watches the lonely Luca, and it incredibly reminds her of her son when he was young, wearing the same jacket and scarf she remembers her son wearing in that same park 30 years ago. She returns to a state of sadness, remembering that her son won't come today. At that moment, Luca stands up from the swing, realizing that no one will come, so he decides to sled alone and have fun. But the tragedy of the day doesn't end there. As soon as he gets up from the swing, he instantly falls to the ground, injuring his arm and bruising his knees. Can it get any worse? His mom even told him that if he gets hurt, not to show up at home, meaning going home is out of the question. Greta sees young Luca lying on the ground through the window and worries that something has happened to him. But our legend is making snow angels and doesn't care that he fell. Greta doesn't know this, and in a rush, wearing slippers and not very warm clothes, she runs to Luca to help him. But today, this tragicomedy doesn't end here. Greta falls while running to Luca, right next to him. Inertia pulled her down because she ate a kilogram more of chocolate than usual that day, and she lies on the ice like a log. Luca gets scared, stands up, and looks at Greta. Greta immediately asks, "Are you okay? I saw you fall." Luca replies, "I fell, and you're lying down?" Greta scolds, "Little one, don't be rude. I ran toward you to help." Luca teases, "I think you currently need more help than I do," and with that sentence, they both burst into laughter like crazy. Luca helps Mrs. Greta stand up. She thanks him and asks if he wants to come to her place to warm up and eat the cookies she baked for her son, who unfortunately won't come, so they don't go to waste. I forgot to mention that Luca loves cookies and would sell his own mother for 2 cookies. Of course, Luca accepts the offer, and both wet, happy, and content, they head to Greta's apartment. As soon as they enter, they sit by the warm fireplace to heat up. Greta takes out the cookies, puts them on the table, and asks Luca if he wants something to drink. Luca says, "Right now, more than anything in the world, I would love to have a cup of hot chocolate, but you probably don't have that, so a glass of milk with cookies will be great." Greta laughs and brings Luca the sweetest, finest hot chocolate she has ever made, and the finest Luca has ever tasted. While Greta carries the cup of hot chocolate to Luca, he shouts at the top of his lungs, "From today, you are my greatest snowy friend. God will bless you." We will continue with the Christmas story. Today we will read the story titled Christmas Cheer, Canines, and Coffee, a cozy Pine Ridge morning. In the heart of Pine Ridge, where winters wrapped the town in a crystalline shroud, Anya stepped out into the biting embrace of a cold morning. The frigid hold of winter tightened its grip on the small town, leaving a crystalline world draped in glistening frost. The frosty morning air bit into every exposed inch of skin, a stark reminder that nature's breath was unyielding. The trees, skeletal sentinels against the gray, pink, and purple canvas of the sky, stood adorned with a delicate lace of hoarfrost. The slightest breeze sent cascades of ice crystals tumbling down, creating a mesmerizing spectacle that glittered like diamonds in the pale sunlight. The branches, once vibrant with the greenery of summer, now wore a serene white cloak that whispered tales of the season's hushed beauty. The sun, a feeble orb in the wintry sky, cast long shadows across the snow-covered landscape. The air crackled with the sharp tang of frost, each inhale a frigid affair that numbed the tip of her nose. Snowflakes, delicate and ethereal, danced in the air, settling on Anya's dark wool coat like whispered promises of a season imbued with magic. At her side, faithful in his fur, was Bear, her old golden retriever. His breath formed little clouds in the frigid air as they set out on their morning ritual, a walk through the town that was slowly stirring to life, adorned in the festive splendor of Christmas. She passed by the town square, where a lone figure stood beneath the statue of the town's founder, his breath forming a misty halo around his face. The old man, bundled up in layers of wool and weathered by the passage of time, gazed into the distance as if searching for something lost in the vast expanse of the winter morning. "Good morning, Mr. Jim," Clara called out, the sound of her voice slicing through the frozen air. He turned, a smile etching lines into his weathered face. "Morning, Clara." "Morning, Bear." "Cold enough to freeze a dragon's breath, isn't it?" They exchanged a knowing laugh, sharing a camaraderie forged by years of weathering the town's winters together. As Clara continued her journey, the quaint charm of the town emerged from the icy stillness. Victorian-style houses stood proudly, their colorful facades now softened by a dusting of snow. The windows, adorned with frosty patterns, framed scenes of domestic tranquility. The storefronts along Main Street were draped in garlands and twinkling lights, casting a warm glow against the white canvas of snow. The aroma of freshly cut pine wafted from the Christmas tree lot, where families debated over the perfect evergreen companion for their living rooms. Anya smiled, the familiar sights and scents signaling the onset of the most enchanting time of the year. As they strolled down the snow-covered sidewalks, Anya marveled at the intricate snowflakes that clung to the edges of the shop windows. Each one, a tiny masterpiece, painted the town in a silent symphony of winter elegance. The distant sound of carolers practicing their harmonies echoed through the crisp air, a preview of the festive melodies that would soon serenade the town. Bear's tail wagged as they passed by the bakery, where the scent of cinnamon and sugar mingled with the invigorating chill. The storefront displayed an array of gingerbread houses, their sugary roofs adorned with royal icing snow. Anya couldn't resist purchasing a gingerbread man for herself and a dog-shaped treat for Bear, who waited patiently, his eyes reflecting the joy of anticipation. With treats in hand, they continued their journey, passing by the town square where a towering Christmas tree stood proudly adorned with ornaments and twinkling lights. The branches, heavy with snow, sparkled like diamonds in the morning sun. Anya's heart swelled with a deep sense of belonging as she watched the scene unfold, a town united in the spirit of the season. They reached the small park, where children in colorful snowsuits sculpted snowmen and engaged in spirited snowball fights. Laughter echoed, a joyful chorus that harmonized with the melody of the season. Bear, sensing the festive energy, pranced around like a playful pup, his tail leaving a trail of joy in the snow. The church bells chimed in the distance, marking the hour. Anya paused, her gaze drawn to the quaint chapel nestled among frosted trees. The windows glowed warmly, casting a gentle radiance on the untouched snow below. It was a sight that captured the essence of the season, the warmth of community against the backdrop of a cold winter morning. As they approached the town's cozy coffee shop, the enticing aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted through the air, drawing them in. The bell above the door jingled cheerfully as they entered, leaving the winter chill behind. The interior was a haven of warmth, the soft hum of conversation and the clinking of mugs creating a comforting symphony. Choosing their favorite spot by the window, Anya and Bear settled into a worn-out leather couch. The window framed a picturesque view of the town square, where a horse-drawn carriage adorned with bells made its way through the snow-covered streets. Anya ordered her usual, a steaming cup of peppermint mocha, and Bear, content by her side, rested his head on her lap. As Anya sipped her coffee, she found herself lost in the wintry landscape outside. The town had transformed into a living snow globe, the flakes twirling in the air like a ballet of frozen dreams. The coffee shop's barista, adorned in a festive sweater, adorned each cup with intricate latte art, a snowflake, a reindeer, a Christmas tree. A group of carolers, rosy-cheeked and bundled in scarves, gathered in the square, their voices rising in harmony. The lyrics of Silent Night drifted through the air, wrapping the town in a blanket of nostalgia and serenity. Anya closed her eyes, savoring the moment, the melody, and the warmth that radiated from the cup in her hands. Bear's ears perked up, and he nudged Anya's hand with his nose. She smiled, reaching into her pocket to produce the gingerbread treat. Bear's tail wagged with excitement as he devoured the dog-shaped delicacy. Anya chuckled, sharing the moment with her loyal companion. As the day unfolded outside, Anya's thoughts wandered to the years she had spent in Pine Ridge. The town, with its charming architecture and welcoming atmosphere, held the memories of childhood snowball fights, cozy Christmas Eve gatherings, and the enduring comfort of familiar faces. It was a place where time seemed to slow down, allowing the magic of the season to seep into every corner. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a warm orange glow over the snow-covered landscape. The town square, now aglow with strings of twinkling lights, transformed into a scene reminiscent of a holiday postcard. Anya marveled at the sight, a sense of gratitude welling up within her for the simple joys of a small town's Christmas. As the final strains of the carolers' song faded into the winter air, Anya opened her eyes. The coffee shop, with its cozy corners and the familiar faces of neighbors, felt like a sanctuary, a place where the cold of the outside world was held at bay. She glanced down at Bear, who gazed at her with soulful eyes, a silent companion in the tapestry of her life. With a contented sigh, Anya leaned back into the couch, her gaze fixed on the winter landscape outside. The day, adorned in the delicate hues of twilight, whispered promises of peace, love, and the timeless magic of Christmas. As she sipped her peppermint mocha, Anya felt a profound sense